Hello guys, Wahoo here, back to another video. This time around I'm doing the endgame version of the Decay build that I did. In the description there is a link to the from the start to the mid game, so this is gonna probably miss some few things or whatnot, but go check out the description for the mid game so you basically can get all of that information, because I'm not gonna go into super detail about the early game to the mid game. So I'm basically just going to show you guys the in-game items that I use and also the talent points. I will do, in the description also timestamps so you guys can click the different items there is, and you can basically go from there. So check out in the description that video first, and then you can go in and check this one out. So first I am going to show you guys some gameplay. I'm going to go to the inner quarter as I did in the other one. First I actually have to see if I did click the right damage tool. I did. So let's go into the damage cord here. In the other one I gave it 2 crystals here, but I think I'm gonna ramp it up a little bit, and I'm actually gonna go for the max crystals on this here. So I hope it goes, and here we go. And I'm actually gonna move into here, and we're gonna use my angelic focus, use my amp here, and then I'm gonna go here, and I got stunned. Make sure I put my shield on my healer so he gets the aura. And there you can see it was not the hardest of fights, but you can see how much damage that I do with it. I think I can also go into, I don't know if you guys want to see that, but I can actually also go into the dining hall. I could go into defeating this guy here. Okay, fight the golem, sorry, I haven't done this one in the new version. So we're gonna engage him, and we're gonna go all the way up here. We're gonna get that, and we're gonna use the angelic focus and the amplified here, and there, down there you can see the damage. So I'm just gonna keep pressing my buttons, and you guys can check it down in the button how much damage that I do. I'm just gonna give myself a few heals here, but I'll make sure that I put that on. And you can also see it without the angelic fusion, and you can also see it without the Chaossong. I'm gonna put that on. There you go. And I'm just gonna let the Chaossong effect run out as well, and also the shield, and I can just go with the auto attack as it is right here. You can see the auto attack. I can do a little smite, I can do a thing, and I can also do a mind rush to get that up again. And then you can see the damage again that we got running. So let me do the last rotation here and put that one on right there. So that's fighting the boss, and you can now see that what the build can do of damage and whatnot if you want to do it as you will. But now we are going to head into the first item. Alright, so the first item is the electric purification right here, the staff. Not only because of the flat healing power it does, but it has a lot of percentage healing power. I have decreased the damage though for the party lightning damage, but it is pretty awesome. Attack speed is pretty nice as well, but it's mostly because of the thunder assault. It's pretty awesome now, also triggers on all party members. It does a lot of damage, the thunder assault. It's not as amazing as it used to be. It has been nerfed, but it's awesome anyways. But it's also because of the lot of healing power that it can do. So that is why this is the first item, and I use this one. You can use whatever you want to. This is not super required. It's just one of the items I think is absolutely amazing. So that was the first item. We can now head into the second item. Alright, so the second item is this one here, the Resonance. I think that's what it's called, but it does a lot of, fire damage, and also does a lot of lightning damage, which I am scaling. It does do some ice damage as well, which is nice, but I'm not stacking that much on the tree and stuff like that. It also has a nice effect to auras, which is really, really nice. But the key thing about this one is that the energy aura that we are running also now grants a flame aura, and also a frost aura, which increases fire damage and ice damage. But the point is that these are 2 extra auras, and since we are stacking auras, you get 2 extra auras, so you get even more percentage out of your damage for your Decay Aura, which we are running in the build here. That's the whole damage around it. So basically you get, for 1 aura, you get 3 auras. So that's why this is in there. And you know, some nice flat damage is not bad, with some percentages of course as well. But pretty awesome damage in there as well. So that was the second item. Now we can get into the third item. And the third item is the Corrupted. The Corrupted, we have talked about this in the previous one. This is just the upgraded version of it. So I'm not gonna explain very much about it, but it is, you know, extra Decay Aura damage. It's more affecting to auras and also a nice flat healing power. That's really awesome. But this is just the divine version of an item that was already in the other build. So you'll probably see it right now that I use many of the same items that we had in the previous build in the mid game. These are just divine version of it. And of course, we are stacking auras. So now it's 9% damage per aura that we are stacking for the Decay Aura that we are using. And again, you know, Sanguine is aura, you get that one with that as well. So that was the third item. Let's jump into the fourth item. All right, the fourth item is the Auramancer stone. We have this from the previous build. This is the divine version of it. Again, it's a nice flat healing percentage, or healing power, sorry, healing power. I keep saying percentage, I don't know why, but it's a nice flat healing power. Then we got some affecting of auras. That's a nice as well. It is upgraded version of it. And then of course, a little bit of resistance, which is nice. But the thing is that we get healing power percentage per our aura that we are affected by our healer. So again, we're stacking auras. So a lot of auras is amazing. That's what we love most about this build. So of course we get a lot of more healing power out of it as well. But also got a percentage resistance to per aura that we also still stacking. And you get the Vigor Aura, but we talked about this one not being amazing, but again, it's an aura. So more auras, more damage. That's basically it. So that's the fourth item. Now we can get into the fifth item. All right, so the fifth item is of course our Chaossong item. It's just a divine oil item, so it's the same as we had in the previous build. Now just upgraded with the you know, healing power and percentage healing power, and of course the amp healing that we are using. Now it's, you know, for the regen aura, it's a 55% increase, and for Decay Aura that we're, you know, that's the one, it's an effect by 75%, which is amazing for when we are using that. So we're using it very often, as you saw in the build there. So, oh, sorry, in the gameplay part of it, and it just does a lot more damage. So that's why we're using the Chaossong, and we want, and then for the in-game, of course, we want a divine version of that. So that was the fifth item. Now we can head into the sixth item. All right, so the sixth item is the Generosity item, and this is not divine version. There's no divine version of the Generosity. Unfortunately, if there was, I would have it. But this is just a normal version, or the version I had from, you know, the mid-game DPS build. So there's nothing changed with this one, but it does give the party damage and the aura effect. That would be probably insane if there was a divine version of it, but yeah, mostly it's because of the Brutality Aura. It just does still do a 5% increased damage, so that's not scaled down, even though it's not a divine item. So we're just gonna run Generosity in this one as well. I haven't, you know, found any items that was better in this one, even though this is not a divine item, and it doesn't have any flat healing power. I do have some down from here, but that's augments and stuff like that. This is all from what we are, you know, using. But we want the Brutality Aura because it's just so damn good. So that was the sixth item. Now we can head into the seventh and last item. All right, so the seventh item, you can go whatever you want. You could basically also do the same thing with the two other items we talked about up here. But these four items down here are ones that are significant for the build. But I use the Wildfire not because of only the flat healing power, but also look at all this fire damage. A lot of fire damage that are to the you know, party, which is amazing. We are using a lot of fire damage, and the thing that sold me on this item was, of course, it's a staff, so you can also get Decay Aura damage on it, but also all party members' fire damage now ignores 20% of the fire target's total fire resistance. So it's just a lot of extra damage. I don't know if it goes into minus if the boss has a 0 you know, percentage fire resistance, for example, you know, has none. I don't know if it goes into minus, so it takes even extra damage, but that would be awesome if it did. It does a lot of damage anyways. It does not really need this extra damage here, but I think that would be a cool mechanic for the build, and something that the developer should definitely look into. If it has like a minus percentage like that, and then it could go into, you know, minus and take that extra damage as of you know, counteracting the minus damage there. So that's what I use, but you can use whatever you want for the different for, of course, these two slots up here as I talked about, and this one as well. You can use whatever you want, but I do like the wands and the staves. They seems just much more up my style. I like to buff the healer as much as I can, but you can go in a ranger's direction or stuff like that. But there was all the items. Now we can head into the talent tree. Alright guys, now we are in the talent trees, and I'm just going to show you guys what I did for all part of it. So the first part is going to be Druid, then Priest, and then Occultist. So in Druid, I basically did nothing else from what I did in my previous build guide. I guess you guys can see it if you want to look at it right here. What I did for, you know, the talent trees, but I explained much of it in here, or in the you know, in the other build guide, so go check that one out. But the Druid is just what it is here so far, is what I need. I want to put my last 7 points into something in the Druid. I don't know what it is yet, but you know, I need a lot of experience before I can go into even another tier. But it would probably be, you know, another into the Blessing of the Forest. But yeah, that does it for the Druid part. We're gonna now head into the Priest part. Alright, now we are in the Priest part, and as you can see, I do have the body and mind. That was what we left off with in the other build, so again, check that one out. You can see what I did in the bottom here. So body and mind, and then I went down to the Rupture, not because of the healing effective, but mostly because of the flat percentage power, you know, healing power. Also, we got a lot of points up here, so we're gonna go pretty quickly down to the next tier. I also put in the Pure of Heart because of the healing power and a little bit of crit and stuff like that. So, you know, it's a pretty cool little, you know, talent point. Not go too crazy, but we are going into the Burning Justice because of not only the healing power, but because of all the fire damage that we are going to do, and we are, you know, increasing all of this here, you know, healing, you know, damage. Also, there's a boss in the some of the last bosses that does a lot of fire damage, and I was just lucky enough to get into this one, and I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool tree because it also gives, you know, some, you know, what's it called, fire resistance right here. And it's not a lot, but it's a little bit. So yeah, just want to say into the Burning Justice is pretty awesome. And down here, I couldn't really pick whatever I want. I've just felt like all these 4 talent points was amazing. This one, not much for all what it did here, but mostly because of the 100 healing power that was just flat right here, which is just crazy. A lot of healing power right there. This one I took because of the, you know, every 3rd attack will do like, you know, percentage of healing power. I thought that was amazing. You know, also lightning damage, we are doing a little bit of that. Then we got this one, the Unity, not only because of the auras and the healing power and this healing power, but, you know, also because of all the auras we are stacking. You can see all the critical hit and critical multiplier as well per aura we are doing. So this is just a crazy. If I would go into only one of these, I would definitely just max this one out if it was what I want to do. And this one just gave a lot of resistances and stuff like that, and I felt like it was a good one that just overall was a necessary point for just a lot of resistances and stuff like that. But I would maybe take this one out and put it into the Unity. Unity is absolutely amazing because we want to get down to the Salvation. Salvation is amazing. Not only reducing all damage, but also increasing all lightning and fire damage when you're doing a lot of lightning and fire damage, as you can see from the previous one we do. And it's just something that auto buffs the people, just like you know, Leadership does, which is just amazing. Inspire is so amazing. So that's what we wanted to do for the Salvation and also for the Priest part. So now we can head into the Occultist part. Alright, so now we are doing the Occultist part, and of course we did it after the Void Chains. We had you know, and even an item that gave us more to Void Chains, but we are after Void Chains in the previous guide that I did. I put 1 point into Blood Ritual because of the percentage healing, another healing percentage, which is really, really good. You can put more into Sacrifice if you want to do so, but you know, also it will increase your healing power 1.5% if you put in more in the Sacrifice talent points. If you don't know what the Sacrifice is, it's this one. You can put in maximum of n. I've tried to do builds with Sacrifice. It's very, very hard to do, and I would not suggest it. It makes it just a little bit weird and stuff like that. Then we got a Void Infusion because of the healing power. Only you know, there, but also the cast time of enemies is 15%, which is absolutely amazing as well, because enemies cast so many spells, and this just works on it, which is so amazing. And you know, who wouldn't have, you know, these two here? You could also go max out this one out. Also, you get the mastery out of it, which would be crazy. A lot of cast time for your enemy spells for you to react even faster. But Demon Skin, very all over, what's it called? All over, not overall, that's what it's called. Overall good damage reduction for, you know, elemental resistances, physical damage, also all elemental resistances and stuff like that. So pretty awesome one as well. Then I put in the Mark of Death, mostly because of, you know, the target, and also does block chance, and also deals 5% of healing power, so as nemesis damage, also stacking nemesis damage, and more nemesis damage, also more damage on your Decay Aura. But one I really wanted was this one here, is the you know, Obliterate, and just, you know, overall damage, and also attack speed and critical damage and stuff like that, and also for the physical damage and nemesis damage as we are doing. But these are both basically just putting in points so we can get down to the Shadowy Fury, because increasing all party members' nemesis damage with 60%, and also flat nemesis increase. And then also, you know, increase all party members' base nemesis damage, and reducing the elemental damage with 35%. All party members elemental damage 45%, and also party members base with that. So we do less elemental damage, but that's not what is carrying us on the build. It's just very nice. We are doing the nemesis damage. That is what we really want. So this is super fine. And also the penalty is when you do max it out, which I do, you know, it does do less the, you know, elemental the penalties is less than that. But we do want to get down to the Cataclysm. That's the big fireballs you see coming from the sky. It does absolutely insane damage, 210% times your healing power of this here. And of course I maxed this one out. I wish that it does hit yourself, which is not a really amazing thing, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. For me, it does around like 600 to 700 damage to every party member. And that's really not a lot when you have 50,000 damage, and it does so much damage to the enemies. It's absolutely insane how much it does. So Cataclysm, very nice skill, even though it hits yourself a little bit. But we are stacking a lot of resistances and stuff like that, so it doesn't do a lot of damage to us, but you know, it do a lot of damage to the enemies. So that was the Occultist part. Now we can head into wrapping up the video and show you guys the skills that I use. Alright guys, we are about to ramp up the video, but I wanted to show you guys which skills that I use. I did show this also in the previous video, but I don't want you guys to just go back and watch that. That's the last thing, you know. I do want to show you guys so you don't have to watch the whole thing over there. But of course I use our Mind Rush to increase our healing power. I do use my Holy Shield, not because of the shield itself, but because I put it on my healer, so my body and mind do 18% extra damage with my Decay Aura. Very, very awesome. And then of course I've used the Ample Heal to trigger the Chaossong, extra damage, extra regen as well. I use Smite because of the extra damage you take, 6.8%, which is amazing, but it also does decent damage as well. 40% or 40,000 is pretty decent as well. And so I use Smite and I get that extra damage as well. Of course, our Dispel and also our Negate is locked, so we can't change those. And for even crazier damage, we do the Angelic Infusion. 80% increased healing power, some more cast speed, which is cool, but also the mana reduction to the cost is also pretty cool. It is a super long cooldown. I only use it in one fight, but every fight resets, so it resets all things, so I can use it every fight as starting out, and 80% is absolutely insane. I get ton of healing power, especially also with the Mind Rush. It's 100% extra healing power, which is absolutely insane. And then of course I use Lesser Heal to have that fast heal that I can spam, and also helps out making the ample heal as an instant cast. There's one in the talent trees. I didn't show you guys in this build, but it's in the previous build. But yeah, this is pretty awesome to have Lesser Heal. It still heals for 11,000, which is absolutely insane for just a heal that has 1.2 second cast and costs like almost no mana at all. So these are the skills that I use, and this was the build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Helps me out very much and super much appreciated. If you disliked the video, make sure you tell me in the description, or in the comments, of course, in the comments, or in Discord. If you don't want to put it in there, you just want to whisper me on Discord, make sure that's also linked in the description, how you're gonna get on the Discord and talking to me about that. If there's something I missed, I hope I covered everything. I hope this guide was very helpful to you guys. I did spend a lot of time on it, so I hope it's good. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you are gonna give a Decay Aura or this build a chance, and make sure again you check out the previous one for the mid game. There, it's also linked in the description. Everything is always linked in the description, right? So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!